nalipa tax na hata siwezi afford kupanda taxi. Kwa banki sina kakitu, siwezi afford hata shati. Maji nanywa ya kanjo yako ya chupa za mapambo. Nalipia mtoto wako elimu ya bure ya juu. Unanipa ya bure lakini ya udu. Oh no. Nitapata wapi majibu ya maswali? Mahindi ilienda wapi? Pia shilingi ya shule za msingi. Paulo mtume, mbona tena usimtume? Lazima abuniwe tume. Lazima abuniwe tume. Mapenzi ndizo hali mapasani tulificha kwa kabati. Kazi kwa vijana, pesa kwa wazee. Tulimangamanga mpaka za madede aise. Lazima abuniwe tume. Lazima abuniwe tume. Sheria. Whoa. Sheria. Sheria. Fuata. Sheria. Sheria. Fuata. Sheria. 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 Fuata. Sheria. 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 Fuata. Sheria. Pia wewe mwananchi, tabia zako ziko chini. Unapenda kulipa hongo na kutumia njia za uongo. Una mipango hata watoto wa kando. Haujui hata majina yao. Kura yako uliuza maini figo, ukakulia hadi dini. Kisha wasema tukuthamini, na wewe hapo hauaminiki. Na wewe hapo haupangiki.
And of course, it's the 18th of August, 2025, and you're listening to my beautiful voice this beautiful day. I hope you've had a very good day wherever you are. How has your day been? Please use my chat function. Guys, I like to read your chats and, just your feedback about how you've been. I mean, if you want to talk about how amazing the music is, plus, my voice is the icing on the cake, right? You can always do that in the comment section of our live chat on YouTube. But of course, this is also live on X. And now we can take your calls. Unajua ile mtu anapiganga simu ajisikiza kwa radio. Unasikia kwambia zima sauti ya radio mwenzangu. You can do that. Text, call or send a voice note on WhatsApp to 0748 379231. One more time, 0748 379231. I'll be right here ready to listen to you, to hear your views. Of course, last week you're talking about copyright. And to continue that discussion today, because last week you're talking about what happens when, someone takes your song, reproduces it, puts it in a medley. And of course, in that case, we saw that the Sitam Church was asked to pay Rebecca Wanjiko 1.5 million shillings because they took a portion of her song, as a serious and a big portion of her song, and then put it in a medley that they were singing. Today, we're going to be talking about something a bit different. What happens when a radio show decides to use your song as a theme song? Wewe kama msanii, a radio show decides this is a theme song. Or you can imagine maybe someone has a show about trains, and then unasikia to Midnight Train. What happens with that? Remember, generally, a radio station is allowed to play anyone's music because they pay for that music, okay? There are royalties that you receive as a result of the radio playing your music. In this case, it was a bit different because a radio show decided we are going to have this show, and every time the show starts, this is a song you're going to be playing, okay? So, what did the court say? Keep it right here. But for now, let's get into the music, and then when we come back, we pick it up where we left it. Let's go.
Every day feeling like we're stuck in the matrix, enslaved by the time that we feel like we're wasting, chained to the hustle, dreams that we're chasing. I want to be free. I want to be free.
That, of course, is Mr. Irosh with Kirinyaga bringing us hata hiyo masaa bwana, masaa imeenda bana. That time has gone. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we've been talking about copyright. And of course, you know generally that copyright is what protects original creations, okay? So we're talking about music, we're talking about art, we're talking about software, we're talking about architectural drawings, we're talking about paintings, we're talking about tunes, we're talking about, did I say softwares? I think I already said softwares. So anything that is created that can be copied, it's protected by copyright. Did you guys see what I did there? But that's actually it. If it can be copied, it's protected by copyright. And we've said that generally, you do not need a certificate of registration of your copyright. However, it is always advisable to have that certificate of registration, because if the matter goes to court and the court cannot determine who exactly is the owner here, while you might be able to say, I recorded this and released it on this day and all this, to avoid all that, you just go to Kenya Copyright Board and you register your copyright, and they give you a certificate of copyright. And that certificate of copyright then ensures that if someone ever uses that song to do something that you have not agreed to, then you can go to court and say, wait a minute, hold up, there has been a copyright violation. And as we saw last week, in the case of Rebecca WaNjeri versus Crisis Answer Minister CITAM, the court awarded her damages of 1.5 million shillings because of her song being used without her consent, without her permission, and she had not licensed it to them. Okay? Now, today, we're going to talk about a song written by one Mr. John Katana. How do you know John Katana? You've probably heard of these people called Them Mushrooms. Have you heard of Them Mushrooms? So Them Mushrooms do a song called Kazi ni Kazi. If you've not heard the song, here's the song. And then I'll come and tell you what happened, why people are going to court, and eventually what the court decided. This is Them Mushrooms with Kazi ni Kazi.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Our radio.
Nzima hamuchoki, munahudumia wananchi wengi, kina mama, kina baba na watoto wengi wa shule wo. Kazi yenu si rahisi, lakini mwaifanya kwa bidii wo. Matatizo mwayapata, lakini yote munavumilia. Ndiyo twasema pongezi madereva wa matatu. Kazi ni kazi. Wera ni wera. Wananchi twawaomba msiidharau kazi ya matatu. Kazi hiyo ni muhimu kwa ujenzi wa taifa letu zima. Kila kazi ya halali inastahili kupewa heshima. Wana mushrooms tumeona, tuwapongeze madereva na manamba. Ndiyo twaimba pongezi madereva wa matatu. Madereva wa matatu. Pongezi manamba wote. Manamba pongezi madereva wa matatu. Madereva wa matatu. Pongezi manamba wote. Nothing wrong being a matatu driver.
matatu drivers. Enough respect to all my numbers, whoa. Enough of them are respectable brethren. Enough of them respect wananchi, whoa. Kazi ni kazi ya matatu ni kazi. Wera ni wera ni wera ni wera. Tuwapa pongezi madereva wa matatu. Tuwapa pongezi manamba wote. Tuwapa pongezi madereva wa matatu. Tuwapa pongezi manamba wote. Sikiza. Wewe daktari, wagonjwa wengi hufikishwa kwako na matatu. Respect. Wafanyi kazi wengi kila siku wafikishwa kazini na matatu. Respect. Na wewe mhubiri waumini huletwa kanisani kwako na matatu. Respect. Wewe mwalimu, wanafunzi wengi hufikishwa shuleni na matatu. Respect. Kwa nini tusiwapeni heshima na pongezi watu wote wa matatu? Respect. Respect. I beg you to respect them. Woyo. Tuwapa pongezi madereva wa matatu. Now respect to matatu drivers. Pongezi manamba wote. Now respect to all my numbers, yeah. Pongezi madereva wa matatu. Pongezi kwa madereva wa matatu. Pongezi manamba wote kwa huduma yenu nzuri. Pongezi madereva wa matatu. Pongezi kwa madereva wa matatu. Pongezi manamba wote. Respect ayanai, ayanai. Pongezi madereva wa matatu.
Yeah, that is the mushrooms with Kazi ni Kazi. So imagine one day you just are at the mushrooms guy. You know, John Katana is the one who wrote this song. And then unaingia tu pale kwa radio. Unasikia that song. And then someone says, oh, this is the start of the show. This is a show we talk about Kazi. Aye. The guy says, what is happening? So in 2009, in September 2009, John Katana sues Royal Media Services, which owned and I believe still owns Radio Citizen, where this show was being, where the song was being played in a show that used to come on Radio Citizen, okay? And he sued, seeking damages for infringement of his copyright and related rights in the musical work known as Kazi ni Kazi, which is the song you've just heard. And he says that Royal Media Services allegedly reproduced or published on Radio Citizen and public media in its Chapa Kazi program without a license or authority from him. Now, on its part, Royal Media Services denied having infringed on his copyright as alleged or at all, and then put him to strict proof. In the alternative, they pleaded the defense of fair dealing and public interest because they claimed that that song, his work, it was solely used for education and information of the public about the need to embrace a work culture, and it was not used for commercial purposes, which is a very interesting defense you hear there, because Royal Media is simply saying, hey, this song, this is fair dealing and there's public interest because we are having a program where we're talking about people working and embracing work. That is how we're using this song. So it was not being used for commercial purposes. So when the matter went to hearing, Katana testified that he was a musician by profession. He was a composer, songwriter, and producer, that he had composed and produced the song after he was inspired by matatu drivers and operators. And of course, that song was played before the court. He also testified that in 2005, he had become aware that Citizen Radio was playing the song in its program Chapa Kazi, which was running from Monday to Friday. He recorded the program, which he also played in court. According to Royal Media Services, according to Katana, he wrote to Royal Media, but his letter did not receive any response. He also complained to the Copyrights Board. He maintained that he did not give Royal Media Services or Radio Citizen the song, and he did not permit them to use it for any purpose, adding that during the time they were airing the song, he could not use it for any other purpose, and that as a member of the Music Copyright Society of Kenya, MCSK, he would have been earning 700 shillings per session or 300,000 per year for the use of the song. Guys, artists, do you know the cost of your song being played? Do you know? So basically, Katana has come with a case here and is saying, you guys have been playing this Monday to Friday, and based on my rate of 700 shillings per session for the song, then you owe me 300,000 shillings. So Real Media called its witness, Julia Masharia, who testified that the song was used in the Chapa Kazi program, which was designed to encourage people to work, and they used the song as a signature tune, but stopped using it in the year 2009 after Katana complained. In addition, she stated that they were willing to amicably settle the matter, but the parties had failed to agree. Okay? Now, when asked, she said as well that they had been supplied with a song by Katana and that they had started playing the song in the year 2005. That matter went to the magistrates court, and the magistrates court held that indeed there was infringement for almost 4 years and awarded actually Katana the sum of 3 million shillings. So what does Real Media do? It does what any other person who goes to court does. They appealed. So now we're going to be looking at that appeal that came to the High Court, and the High Court is being asked to set aside that decision of the magistrate awarding this guy 9 million shillings. Keep it right here. This is a story you want to hear. Let's go.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Bella, Bella, mbona unimisi siku hizi? Bella, Bella, mbona unimisi siku hizi? Penzi lako lanitia hofu, mbona unimisi siku hizi? Penzi lako lanitia hofu, mbona waniona hivi hivi? Bella, Bella, mbona unimisi siku hizi? Bella, Bella, mbona unimisi siku hizi? Penzi lako lanitia hofu, mbona unimisi siku hizi? Penzi lako lanitia hofu, mbona waniona hivi hivi?
Feel it every day, sema kupitia, sikutarajia, mambo kuchemka, see it day by day, kakuna gap, kahuioni na iona, kumebadilika, vile naumia, hata ungejua hauwezi furahia, ama nkosea na huwezi niambia, ama umepata mwingine na sijajua. Tafakari tulipotoka, my baby, yo. Na nini unachotaka, my baby, yo. Bella, oh. Maneno mingi sipendelei, wajua tu Nairobi ngori, so nina watu, cheka na watu, kumbe ni fees, ukisurvive, big up yourself, ka uko live, big up yourself, mbona kunizungusha, zungusha, mbona kunitatiza, mbona kunizungusha, zungusha, mbona kunitatiza, tatiza. Siku hizi Bella, mbona unimisi siku hizi? Penzi lako lanitia hofu, mbona unimisi siku hizi? Penzi lako lanitia hofu, mbona unimisi? Bella.
Yes, that is Bella by Blinky Bill together with Lisa Noah Odur. You know, Lisa Noah, she sounds like heaven, man. It's like if heaven had a sound, it must be Lisa Noah. But let me hold myself back here, okay? Asanteni sana. We're talking about the case of John Katana, where he sued Royal Media Services, and the magistrates court awarded him 3 million shillings because of the use of his song Kazi ni Kazi on a radio show that they had. They would always play that song as a theme song for the show. Now, one of the things the High Court, being an appeal court, determined was that it was not in question that Katana was the original composer and producer of the song. It was also not disputed that Citizen Radio had used the song in its Chapa Kazi program from 2005 to 2009. Okay? Now, given that the ownership or authorship of the song was not disputed, it follows then that Katana was the owner of the song's copyright as provided by Section 23. This is what Section 23 provides. It says, copyright shall be conferred by this section on every work eligible for copyright of which the author, or in the case of a work of joint authorship, any of the authors is, at the time when the work is made, a citizen of, or is domiciled or ordinarily resident in Kenya, or is a body corporate which is incorporated under or in accordance with the laws of Kenya. Okay? So, the argument that Citizen had brought to the High Court, that Radio Citizen had brought to the High Court that Katana did not prove that he was the owner of the copyright song, was found to be unmerited by the court. And in this case, Katana did not actually have a certificate of registration of copyright. And the court said, failure to produce a certificate to that effect, though it was relevant, it was not material in view of the fact that the authorship of the song was not disputed. So, when you don't have a copyright certificate, unless if the other person does not, say, hapana hii ngoma si yako ni ya wenyewe, then the court will say, okay, you did not dispute that the song is theirs, so we don't even need the copyright certificate. But remember, you'll not always have it that easy, right? Sometimes you'll actually find people say, no, the song is not yours, and you have to prove that the song is yours, and that can throw you out as an artist. Okay. So, in this case, John Katana informed the court that he had not permitted Radio Citizen to use the song in any way, okay? Though Radio Citizen, through its witness, had said that he had given the song to it, they failed to produce any evidence to prove that indeed Katana had permitted or otherwise licensed them to use his song. So, what about this question of fair dealing and public interest? Because Radio Citizen or Royal Media Services was basically making the argument that we are using this song to educate the public. So because of that, then surely public interest covers and protects our work. Okay? Now, when you talk about public interest comes under what we call fair dealing, which is provided for under Section 26(1) of the Copyright Act. Okay? The Supreme Court of Kenya actually had an opportunity to deal with this. There was a case of Communications Commission of Kenya and 5 others versus Royal Media Services. Okay? And in that case, the court stated, fair dealing is a defense against copyright infringement. The Copyright Act does not define what is fair, and it is something that depends on the facts of each case. Okay? The court said that when it comes to questions of what amounts to fair dealing, the court will have to look at each case, okay? Look at the case as it is. And for instance, one of the key court decisions, they talk about jurisprudence. Tell your neighbor jurisprudence, which is the theory of the law, basically. The jurisprudence is that when you're looking at the question of determining whether it's fair use, number one, what is the purpose of the dealing? What is the character of the dealing? What is the amount of the dealing? What is the alternative to the dealing? What is the nature of the work? And what is the effect of the dealing on the work? Okay? Although all these factors are unlikely to arise in every case, there's a dependable basis for determining fairness in future cases by looking at that, where you say, okay, what was the purpose of the dealing? Why were you using the song that way? What is the character of the dealing? How was it being used? What is the amount? How much of the copyright work did you use? What were the alternatives? Did you have any other alternatives to that? What is the nature of the work? What is the effect of using it on the work? Okay? And so, One of the arguments that Royal Media Services was making was that the magistrate did not actually address his mind to the question of fair dealing. And they had clearly said, no, this is a case of fair dealing. And so the High Court, being an appeal court, is allowed to consider and determine whether the court that issued that decision looked at everything as it was supposed to do. When we come back, we talk about what the court considered in determining what is a fair dealing. And so this goes out to everyone. I know some of you, we've talked here even about how you're using songs on TikTok and all that. Keep it right here. This is a very interesting decision. And you are actually going to be surprised at the judgment that the court makes. Remember, you can reach out to us on 0748 379231, 0748 379231, and let us have your thoughts on this. Let's go.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
To the simple things that we rarely mention. If you look around you, you'll find a connection to everything and everybody. There's a rhythm and a melody sounding right now in you and me. Just open your heart and you will feel it and perceive it, yeah, yeah. Nakuna birds in the sky singing sweet songs day and night. Tega sikio, usikie, ufurahie. Gimanyalo bedo maber, isiko kimanyole. Gimanyalo bedo maber, isiko kimanyole. Everybody's trying to find a feeling, a feeling. If you look around, you will see it. You will see. Everybody's trying to find a feeling, a feeling. If you look around, you will see it. You will see.
People come into your life and they'll go, and what you love will change. Odio chieng manyen biro kelo kweth manyen. You all know love is all around us, yeah, in different places and different times. Ipatie muda obiro duogoni, osiepna kimanye gadiera. Terengi mamos, kata ka chunyi opong gi lit. Ay, ay, ay. Terengi mamos, to jana kata ka chunyi thagore.
Everybody's trying to find a feeling, a feeling. If you look around, you will see it. You will see. Everybody's trying to find a feeling, a feeling. If you look around, you will see it. You will see. 'Cause everybody's trying to find a feeling. Just look around, yeah. Open your eyes and look around, yeah. There's so much beauty in life. Just open your eyes and look around, yeah.
What a beautiful song. Hey, wasanii bwana, muendelee kuingia studio. Us, we are just loving it on this other side of being listeners. Now we're talking about, can someone argue public interest? And they argue that we used your song in public interest, which falls under fair dealing, and therefore you should not actually be suing us for this. Now, the court started by noting that it had not been denied that the purpose of the program Chapakazi, in which the song was being played, was to inspire people to work. However, the court looked at the analysis of the evidence on record and it revealed that it is not the song which was used to educate the public to embrace a work culture. Indeed, Royal Media's witness stated that the program contained a segment in which they interviewed different people. The song was only used as a signature tune since it was in alignment with the program. Since naongea story ya kazi, tutumie kazi ni kazi, okay? Besides, Katana had actually stated, and this had not been disputed by Radio Citizen, that the use of the song by Radio Citizen created unfair competition in the market with his original song, since he was unable to use it elsewhere where he could have earned some money from it. Okay? And basically what he's saying is, imagine taking that song to another radio station, to Power Radio. Power Radio will tell you, no, the song is already being used by Radio Citizen, right? And so he's saying, the fact that you use this song in the manner that you used it, you are denying me the right to actually benefit from it. And the Supreme Court in that Communications Commission of Kenya and 5 others versus Royal Media had actually recognized that the effect of having the reproduced work competing with the original work had potential for unfair dealing. So when someone reproduces your work and it is actively competing with your original work, then there we have what we call an unfair dealing. Okay? So Katana is basically saying, even though you're talking about using the song in the manner you've used it, how am I going to, convince anyone else that they can use a song for something else? When people hear the song, they already identify it with your song or with your show. Therefore, it reduces my ability to penetrate the market in terms of giving that song to other people. And for artists who are here, this is legit. And if that's going to happen, if someone is going to use your song, which means you cannot then go ahead and use that song elsewhere, then you need to be compensated for it. It shouldn't be that you are not being compensated. Your original song is, there's great competition. You are unable to actually use that song to benefit yourself, and someone is still not paying you money for it. No. So the Supreme Court also recognized that when a work is reproduced, it always has an effect of competing with the original work. And when that happens, then that is a case of unfair dealing. In this case, the court found that the defense of fair dealing was not established by Royal Media Services in this case. And the court said that even though the magistrate had not considered that question of that defense, he arrived at the correct conclusion that Radio Citizen had infringed on John Katana's copyright in the song Kazi Ni Kazi, another song that he did with Them Mushrooms. When we come back, what should the award be? Now that the High Court sitting as an appeal court is saying, my friend, hapo mumenyang'anya huyu kijana. So, how much should this John Katana receive? Keep it right here.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
What? Ninaona mnakula vibe. Kakata kiuno manze bila aibu.
On your mark, set steady. It's a dance thing, get ready. Silly weekendi, mambo ni mengi. Tumeanza sai tushafika ending. Come to the floor. Tunakula vibe ni kama never before. You don't know. Na kama hujui my man, so now you know. And to the head, to the west. Tingika ki you know vibe. Move to the right, to the left. Ichape ni kama zime arrest.
What? Ninaona mnakula vibe. Kakata kiuno manze bila aibu. What? Ninaona mnakula vibe. Kakata kiuno manze bila aibu.
Run the thing. Kick it. Taka. Kick it. Taka. Kick it. Taka. Kick it. Run it again. Kick it. Taka. Kick it. Taka. Kick it. Taka. Kick it.
Drop down low na ukishamalza saka balance ukishake mashanga waist na haga dance kama belly dancer demo bangra akidance hangla shake kama bass imejaa kwa kanga dandesi ni kama vibe ni clean na shine kwa beat na pay dancer vaseline so slide mami nika flow imejaa maji style tikitaka ni kazi imevaa Nike so tuzitoke hadi tukonde tuzitoke hadi mwangaze toke tuzitoke leo tuwaokote oya comrade tunga usigongewe.
What? Ninaona mnakula vibe. Kakata kiuno manze bila aibu. What? Ninaona mnakula vibe. Kakata kiuno manze bila aibu.
Run the thing. Kick it. Taka. Kick it. Taka. Kick it. Taka. Kick it. Run it again. Kick it. Taka. Kick it. Taka. Kick it. Taka. Kick it.
Vibe. Leo ni weekendi unakosaje vibe? Tu ukikosa vibe ni aibu. Na ukipatwa na aibu. Masa kulala tunalala kwako tu. Maintain ama hapo tu. Kikuja hivi mimi nitakupa 1-2 bana kiss kani vibes mimi nataka zako tu. Naweza tiki taka ukitaka kakuna vibe kuna kitu wina waka na iki waka ifike hapa shiki faka jwa marashi nili waka.
Ninaona mnakula vibe. Kakata kiuno manze bila aibu. What? Ninaona mnakula vibe. Kakata kiuno manze bila aibu.
Run the thing.
Kata kiona manze. Watu wanakula vibe. Thank you for keeping it right here with me. Remember, we can take your comments, your questions on 0748-379231. You can text, call, or send a voice note to 0748-379231. Now, we're talking about that case between John Katana versus Royal Media Services. Okay? This is what the court says. In view of all the foregoing, I find that the defense of fair dealing, was not established by Royal Media Services in this case. I am thus satisfied that even though the learned trial magistrate did not consider the defense, he arrived at the correct conclusion that Royal Media Services had infringed on John Katana's copyright in the song. Now, the other question was, would the court still award the 3 million shillings? Okay? Now, the court said that a look at the trial court's judgment reveals that the learned trial magistrate considered the evidence and submissions placed before him by both parties, as well as the fact that the radio citizen had played the song in a radio station which had wide outreach for a period of 4 years. I do not find anything in the trial court's decision on quantum to suggest that he considered any irrelevant factor or that he applied the wrong legal principle. I cannot also say that the award of 3 million was inordinately high. I therefore do not find any basis to interfere with the award made by the trial court, and it is thereby upheld. And that is how on 19th December 2019, Mr. John Katana won in his case against Royal Media Services for the infringement of his copyright when they used the song Kazi ni Kazi to be the anchor song for their show Chapa Kazi. So, wasanii, are you listening to this? Have you registered your songs? Have you gotten a copyright certificate for your photos, for the videos you're working on, okay? For the songs you're producing, for the works you're creating, for the painting you're doing? Guys, someone cannot just wake up today and decide to take the painting you've done and copy it, or to take the photo you've taken and then they go and mass produce it, or, mass printing. No. You have to protect your works. And the Kenya Copyright Board exists for that very purpose. You can actually go there and you make an application, okay, for you to be granted a certificate of registration. Now, I'm just looking here at their website. Guys, are you ready? If you would like to register your art and get a copyright certificate, it's only 500 shillings. Guys, 500 shillings and you get your certificate. Mara moja, if you're a natural person. If kama unakuja hapo kama kampuni, unalipishwa 1,000 shillings if you're an organization. But if you're a person, for 500 shillings, you can get a certificate of copyright. And should anybody anywhere ever try to use your copyright, to use your creations to benefit themselves without you agreeing, then you can go to court, and you can expect that the courts will always be in favor of artists, especially where they have taken the steps to protect their rights. Now, this is also not to say, guys, that your song cannot be used for something, okay? But if and when that happens, one of the things you have to ensure is that there is what we call a license agreement. And the license agreement tells the, it tells the person, for instance, you're the licensor and the other person is the licensee. And you decide how much can you use this song, for how long, how much will you pay me, can you license the song again to someone else? Yes, no, all those things are done. And of course, when you have a good lawyer, they're able to guide you on how to deal with that. Remember, here at Power Radio, we're always about protecting artists, and we're always about ensuring that artists get what is their due. So please, now you know. So what are you going to do about it? You know what? I'd like to be sitting here and talking about your case a few years from now or a few months from now.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
That's all the time we have, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for just giving me your time. Thank you so much for being with us here. And Wasani, one of the things I think we should have we should actually have a challenge where we ask you, Wasanis, have you registered for your copyright? Prove it by showing us a copy of your certificate of registration of copyright, which you can apply for and get at the cost of 500 shillings only. Protect your art. Today, you might think you've got to the studio and you just chucked a song and it has gone nowhere. Hey, but you never know. One day, your song could be the song that is just for that season. Then you're going to watch people eat your money left, right, and center. And you're there saying, oh, usania ina pesa. Protect what you're making, because every creation is valuable. The things that you take from your mind, you put them on paper and you actualize them. That is value. That is real wealth. Okay? And remember, copyright does not protect ideas. It protects the execution of those ideas. So you cannot come and say, hey, idea nilikuanga nayo manze. Did you produce it? Did you turn it into something tangible? That's the test. So artists, please, make sure you register copyright over the works that you are producing. Stunane Basi, we'll be back on Thursday for our regular show between 6 and 8 p.m. We have 2 hours of a lot of fun and a lot of music. So keep it right here. And of course, we have a lot of shows coming up for the rest of the week. You have your breakfast. We have Shivazations, and I keep telling Caro, she needs to call me because they're just bashing men there. Yeah? Jokes, Caro. Jokes, man. Say jokes. And of course, my favorites are Wasowango wa hip hop. Here, they'll be here as well on Saturday for the longer show. And Kigondu taking us through what's happening in the media space and in the art space and in theater. So keep it right here. There's a lot of variety for you. And of course, the Friday rap show where we talk about everything that has happened during the week. Hey, there's a lot of variety for you right here on Power Radio. And of course, we never take your support for granted. Thank you for supporting us, for always listening, and for keeping it real. Simbarikiwe. Adios.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Steady rocking on the midnight train. Oh Lord, steady rocking on the midnight train. To Zion, to Zion.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Our radio.